Hey, what's up, guys? It's T-Bone here, and welcome to the stream for today for the event, the Defiant one. And we're going to be doing some deck ideas, but this time around, instead of doing just my deck ideas, I wanted to take a look at what you have and maybe work with you guys during this live stream to see if we can, build upon your deck and also see if we can build, help you get more damage. So I just wanted to welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me. And so I see John Wilson, Guido, and over 50 nomads. Welcome. So the stream is a little bit later than normal. I did have a prior engagement, but we're live now. And so if anybody is looking for any ideas or any help, please let me know. I know that some people had reached out to me, but unfortunately I didn't get the information down. So just, comment down below, tag my name, and we can take a look as well. So welcome, Rob and Duppy. So while I'm waiting, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of show what I've done so far and where I'm at. A quick update on my team right now. Just, first, how are my runes doing? And, do I have any of the current event heroes? And what I'll say is, unfortunately, I did try my best. I went up to tier 3 for both of the packs. And this is what happened. So I got 5, unique runes for my ultra rare and 4 unique runes for my master collection card pretty much right away. So all of my pulls in the beginning were all unique, and then I could craft 2. So like I actually have enough dust to craft 2 runes. I am missing 2, but the thing is, I'm kind of not wanting to waste all of my dust right now just to create the 2, especially since I'm missing the 1 rune for my ultra rare. So I was really keeping my fingers crossed. I did have 5 unique ones, and then I pulled 3 dupes in a row. I couldn't get the 5th one, the 6th one I needed. I'm really waiting for the ultra rare so I can get the ultimate form. And if I don't, I might actually save it for the next Light Slayer event, since I don't have a very good Light Slayer team. So right now, I'm not running with any of the event heroes except for 2 support cards. I don't even have Durus, the event card. So I'm not going to be able to showcase how that team works, but we can talk a little bit about the mechanics there. But what I'm going to do is I am going to show the team that I am running with right now, and then I'm going to talk about some of the things that we've done, we can do to sort of improve upon it. And so again, just revisiting, looking at the people that have joined just now. So Miss V3, Hansi, Duppy, I already said hi, and Ilias, and True. Welcome. And so I see a question here. How can I use Durus? It says over 6 gems, but it makes 1 or 2. Why? And so the answer to that is you have to pay attention to the skill point that is going to be on the fight. You basically need to get 300 skill point in order to get the 7 gems of power gems. Otherwise, you're going to only get 1, and it will increment by 1 every 60 skill points. And that's the reason why. And so I've got free to play runes and duplicating collection. Try not to waste dust. Won't get you less. Yeah. So one of the things I'm doing is I've got 3 opportunities remaining. So if you take a look at where I'm at, just looking at the collections, I am at the point where I've already collected all of my overkill, and I have basically 2 more master collection card, 2 more master runes, and 1 ultra rune remaining. And so at this point, I'm just gonna wait and see. And if I don't get my ultra rune, I'm just going to wait, and I'm going to basically keep all of them and wait for the next Light Slayer. Like I said, I don't actually have a very good Light Slayer team, so I'm waiting to build upon that. And so I did push one of my teams to 300, and so this is sort of the way I'm playing right now. So if you pay attention to the keys, what I'm doing right now is I'm pushing the boss that is also the same as the overkill. And that is the queen, I think. That is so Voodoo Queen. So Voodoo Queen's the one that I push. And then I save my keys for the Gleeful Samity so that I can do the ultra kill. So while I'm waiting, like I said, if any of you who are watching right now looking to get some help, please feel free to let me know, and I'm more than happy to join in, take a look at your cards, and help you out. But for now, I'm going to show you how I've sort of built a team that can help me with 300. Now, if you have Duru or other cards, you can probably swap in for one of the 2 Drosselmeyers. I had 2 of them just because I decided to use all of my dust back then, and I invested in this. This is a purely free to play deck for me right now. I know it's hard to believe because it has 3 Master Collection cards, but really what I want to highlight is the 2 support cards. They're actually better than you might expect. And so I'm going to show you how I play this deck right now with 1 key here. And so it does take a little bit of time, and it did sort of take a little bit of tweaking. And if you use an Ultra Evor, that would also help. And so the first thing you want to make sure to do is on turn 1, if you're at level 300, you want to make sure that you have enough gem matches to actually light up the battle skills. And then you want to make sure to use the skills of your support cards as soon as possible. Every single turn that you get, you want to make sure that you use it for 2 reasons. One, it will create gems so that you can actually match to increase your battle skills, your skill points. And 2, it also charges up your card so that you can activate it again. So you can see the counter here. Basically, the way this team works out, you need to charge it twice. And then one of the things that you want to do is you also want to wait until you basically are at the minimum for your health, and then at that point you'll have your turn will be over. So basically I have enough for 1 more turn right now. I'm going to survive this 1 last hit, and then I'm going to wait to activate my battle skills that give me power gems, because I also want to make sure that if I don't have enough power gems to fill up the board, I activate the gem spawners last, just so I can fill up a little bit. As you can see, I didn't really fill up the board there because I couldn't get the intensity quite high given the fact that the boss is dealing so much damage now. And so with this though, I can barely get just enough. And I think this actually, in this particular case, probably didn't get it. But normally I was able to get over, I think, so one of the things I didn't do this time as I was playing around, I also didn't build up enough power gems in the actual match. So one of the things I forgot to mention is that with this particular setup, you still need to ensure that you can build up power gems so that you could fill up the board a little bit more. If you notice there, I was missing 3 slots, and those 3 slots plus the fact I didn't have quite enough power gems there meant that I missed the overkill by just a little bit. And so that was, but it is sort of a way to play this deck, and that's the team I have. So I saw somebody asked for help there. I think I saw Duppy. So let's take a look. What is the in-game name for Duppy there? If you could tag my name and let me know your name, I can do a search and I can take a look at your cards and we can see what we can do. So greetings everybody. Again, for anyone who is who is just joining us, I'm hoping to do something a little bit different today and take a look at the cards of your cards basically, and then let me know basically I can help see if I can build some deck live here, and I'm gonna go over my thought process and also why I choose certain cards, how I choose to pick them, and then how I would pick them as well. And so Sleepless and some other people, Ginzu, so thanks again for joining. So Duppy, again, if you could just let me know your in-game name. Okay, there's Duppy Conqueror, so let's go ahead and take a look now. With a OR. All right, and so let's take a look here. So the first thing I normally do, kind of explore the different team slots. And if you let me know which team you're currently working with, that can help too. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a look at your collection right now. And let's take a look. So one of the first things I do is, depending on the collection, I try to go with affinity plus the event. So then light commander is what I typically try to go with. And then I go by power. So then I could take a look to see what are the best heroes that we can, put in there. So right now I see a Durus and I see 2 electric executrix, and I see 2 sugar plum fairies, and there's also a monk and sniping watchhawk. Okay. And basically, if you kind of go down to the 4 and 5 stars there, we will kind of look at it and use it really if we just need to. But I do want to pay attention just to make sure I'm not missing any good cards that might just be under leveled right now. And I think what I'm seeing is, is okay here. So Monk is a good card. It's a gem destroyer, so you can actually use that to help out as well. But I think right now you're probably going to have your best bet for now, anyways, would probably be your support cards plus Durus as the main power gem spawner, but that doesn't give you a whole lot. So then the next thing I'm going to try and take a look at is to see what you have in your light slayers. So I see you have Assault, Yuju, and Swine Lord, Libra, Solus, okay, and Dasha. All right, so this is so basically right now what we're looking at is you're probably not going to be able to one key your. You're probably not going to be able to use one key for the legend bosses, and you might be able to. I think you still might be able to do 3 keys for the bosses, but let's take a look and see what you've got right now. So my recommendation here is you should use your Generation 3 cards as much as you can. And what I'm seeing here is you have two Executrix and Adurus, but then you have Mind Taker and Beaming. While they are, they are able to give you the 7-time bonus, my recommendation is to put in 2 of your Sugar Plum Fairy in this deck. So what you're going to get is you're not going to have a ton of power gem spawns, but you are going to have at least more power there. I would really want to be able to get you a little bit of power gems if I can. So let's take a look again, see what other options you have. So now that we're sort of getting to the point where, all right, the light cards don't actually get you don't have a lot of power gem spawners from your light deck. Let's take a look and see what other options you have. So let's start with commanders if possible. So if you don't mind me asking, let me know how long you've been playing as well, because I can get a sense of just what kind of cards you might be lacking, just in terms of if you started after certain events, then it would make sense that you wouldn't have it. So some of the cards I was hoping to find are Ilona or Inverted Archer or Ultra Evor, and also Primal Guardian. These are sort of the staples for the light cards. But then if you don't, then there are other cards that also create power gems. I'm just kind of searching right now to see what they have. So you have the Mummy. It's a 5-star. That's 1. You also have, let's see here. I think in terms of the power gem spawners, that's the card that I see. So another sort of way to play this type of deck is to settle on a card that creates power gems. So I think what I see right now is the Mummy. I'm gonna take a look at your Slayer cards and see if there's any others. So bear with me, and I am seeing other members, other names as well. So I'm gonna take a look there. So let's see. Okay, so right now, I guess, yeah, I'm not seeing the sort of the default the go-to power gen spawners, and that is one of the challenges that I see here. If you don't have the full event team and you don't have power gen spawners, it really makes it hard. And so let's take a look also, just in case you have it. I want to see if you have the Dark Warden. And doesn't look like you have it. I was looking for the Mouse King. It also creates a couple of Power Gen 4s. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. One of the choices you have would be to put 2 Executrix and 2 Sugar Plum Fairies, and then Durus. The way you want to play this deck is you want to basically do as many matches as possible using the support cards to give you matches until your skill points gets to 300, and then activate Durus, and then activate everything else so that you can maximize the number of gems. Try and see how much damage you can deal with, and that might be at least sufficient for you to get through your regular bosses. The other option is to try and use your Mummy. So that would be your Earth Commander card. And so what you can do here is it's a 5 stars, I believe. Basically, you'll need to make sure that you have Corrupt Relics if you have any. I should check that too. So let's take a look to see if you have any Corrupt Relics. So you have 1 relic. So your challenge is going to be the generation of your intensity. But if you use 3 keys and then you just go as fast as you can, basically you want to activate your Mummy when you have enough intensity, so you can get at least a bunch of power gems on the board, and then use up your support cards to overwrite those power gems to try and do some damage. So those are the two options. All right, and again, seeing some new people here. Thanks for bearing with me. Not sure how this is going to work out per se, but I guess in some cases I might also try to play some decks out just to kind of show how it works out. And I'm just gonna go down the list and let me know if this helps you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or ask here. And I see a lot of people here that might also be able to help out. And so the next person on the line is, okay, so I guess it's gonna be Sweet Rain, and that would be somebody within my guild. I could just help you. But let's take a look. So that would be Nari. And let's take a look at your cards right here. And so I'm assuming you're looking at the I Am Legend. And so this is a very similar deck. So you're using Oglyph, and that's good. And you have the ultimate form already. And so I'm going to assume that you probably know how to use this deck already, but I'm going to kind of talk through what I think. So the thing with the ultimate form is that you need to make sure that you can get 3 stacks. So these stacks actually will basically last. So it doesn't matter if you can't get them immediately. So basically the way to read the skill is you have 4 turns to get the damage reduction and increase, but it gets reset if you activate a battle skill, but it doesn't mean anything. You just need to activate this card 3 times to make in order for your power gems to go to power gem 4, and that's when you're going to deal the most damage. And that's really how to look at it. And you're always going to get double damage anyway. So I guess the way you're going to play this deck is you're going to make sure you use Oglyph first. So the first thing you want to do is you want to use Oglyph first and then the rest of the battle skills, because Oglyph, the way he works is the number of power gems he creates depends on the number of gems that it can destroy. And so the fewer light gems you have on the board when you activate him, the more power gems you'll get. So a lot of people actually would create the power gems and then use him as a gem destroyer. You want to do it the opposite way. You want to actually use Oglyph first and then the rest of your cards. Then finally use extra Q-Tricks last. So that would be my suggestion for how you can play that deck. You might see a little bit of increase in your damage if you did that. And I see you have let's see your relics here. So yeah, you got pretty good relics there, and you got an ultimate form. So that's good. Now I think I got the right player here. So I made an assumption here. So just let me know if I actually looked at the wrong cards. But I'm gonna go down the list, and Annabelle, thank you very much. And so we have also Latrue. So let's take a look here. And let me know if these are, if these make sense, like what I'm saying here makes sense to you. And also if you let me know just kind of like what kind of help you need, whether it's, hey, I have a really good deck already, I just need to get my bonus, my damage to go up a little bit, or I'm having a really hard time, I don't know how to get my team set up. That also kind of helps me. So I see you have both Primal Guardian and Ultra Evor, so that's already going to be really good. You have actually, I don't have the Ultra Evor, so you should be able to deal really good damage there. Let me just take a look to see your other teams. So with this particular setup, I don't see any other, let's see. So let's take a look at your commander cards. So the things I'm looking for, so like how do I balance between the Sugar Plum Fairy and Electric Executrix? They both do a little bit different things. So the Sugar Plum Fairy allows you to get less damage taken. It's just that right now she only has 4 times commander bonus, whereas Electric Executrix, when you have 2 of them, they can actually do pretty good heal, and they give you gems every turn. And so I think based on what I see here, your setup is pretty good. I probably wouldn't need to, you probably wouldn't need to get the Sugar Plum Fairy in there because you have enough already. So you have 3, I see 3 creature relics. That's what I'm running with as well. And it's a good idea that you have this Hailstorm launcher as well. So this is a really good setup. I'm not sure if you're looking for how to play the deck better or if you are looking for a different option, but I think that given this, it's basically the same way you would play the deck that I showed earlier with Primal Guardian and Ultra Evor, you want to try to, if health is going, like, I guess health might be an issue. So health might be an issue for you on legend bosses, but if that's the case, one of the things you do is you can level them up, and I think also you don't have any intensity. The only thing you have is intensity requirements. So I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna assume that you don't have any more creature relics. So you have 6 creature relics. So what I would recommend is actually put 4 of them. And the reason I say that is because if you use 4 relics instead of 3, you're going up by 20 every time, and that is going to help you get to the number of intensity you need to get more power gems on the board in fewer turns. So right now you've got 3. I think putting it up to 4 is actually going to help you more. So you are sacrificing one of your light commander relics, but since you're using your Primal Guardian and Evor as the main sort of damage dealer, main support for power gem spawn, you might actually want to consider bringing up to 4, see if that helps with your damage as well. So give that a try and see. So hope that helps. And let's see. So the next person in the list is Princess Frozen Heart. And I'm just going to take a quick look at the chats here just to make sure I haven't missed anything. I feel like, yeah, as I'm talking, I am missing some stuff. So apologize, as I'm talking here. I'm just going to take a little bit of break to make sure that I see your comments as well. So take advantage of relics on so I'm definitely going down the list if I can, just trying to get through as many as I could. But I am also paying attention to what I'm seeing here. All right, so I guess true, you're unable to get a 500 ultra kill. I think that the reason is because you're not getting the double boost. I can't get ultra kill 500% ultra kill myself with my team if I'm going up against the Chariot. I can if I'm going up against a Dark God. Until I get the Master Collection card, I'm not going to be able to do it. That's unfortunately the case. Okay, so I am going to go down and take a look at Princess Frozen Heart's deck. So let's take a look here and see what we've got. All right, so hey, you've got the ultimate form for the Innovative Invocators. Congratulations, that's an awesome card. I really love that. I really like that card. I wish I had actually gotten the card here. So I'm not sure which team you're using here. I'm assuming you're probably using this deck right here. And so what I'm seeing, okay. Or is it this one? It looks like it might be this one, right? Like Commander, this is probably the team that you're using. Okay, so you've got the Master Collection card and you've got the Invocator, Primal Guardian. Now, do you have 2 support cards here? That's the question. So I'm not sure what your challenge might be, and this I'm just gonna read. I think what you see, if you mentioned it, let's take a look. So, any tips on your light commander deck? And yeah, so I think you've got the cards. Your cards are really good. It's just that right now you're using the Stepfad Nutcracker. I don't know if you necessarily need that because you actually have the Primal Guardian that is creating the power gems for you. And so again, one of the things that I'm thinking about is if you're having health issues, then you might want to use 2 support cards if you have them. So let's take a look to see if you have the 2 support cards. And you definitely do. So what I would recommend here is play around and see if replacing your Steadfast Nutcracker with another support card would help. There are 2 things I'm thinking about here. Number 1, you're gaining an additional 6 commander power bonus. And the second thing is you're getting additional heal, and also you're going to increase your overall skill point creation much faster, and so you might actually benefit from it. And using Primal Guardian with this setup, I can't imagine you not being able to deal a ton of damage, especially if you are getting sort of the ultimate form, the killer bonus being applied here. And so give that a try. You have 2, again, the same idea here. You've got 2 relics. So the other thing I'm looking at is also consider So you got 2 relics there, so you can't do much more than that. So with this particular setup, health is probably going to be an issue because it's going to take you more turns. So try with the 2 support cards if you are having an issue. But just looking at the deck right here, it looks pretty good. So let me know if that helps answer your question. And you have a dodge. So let's see. I'm just seeing my names being Phil on Ultra Kill. Yeah. So if you're looking at the decks for Ultra Kills, let me know. I'm gonna try and look at that as well. But let me know, Guido, if this actually helped. If that was what you're looking for. All right. The next person. So Gabor Pinter is Surf Carly. All right. So let's take a look there. And there's definitely, a name that's sort of piling up here. So I do apologize if I don't get to you by this stream. But I'm going to, as I'm talking, I do want to make sure that I am kind of giving my thought process across. Like, the idea is I don't want to just tell you what to do. I want to tell you why I'm thinking about it. And so Surf Carly, right? Carly. Let's take a look. All right, so I see the first team in the mix event. So I see that you're experimenting a little already. Again, like, let me know what it is that you're thinking about, because I see that you have the Drosselmeyer Innovator, and you have 2 support cards. You're using the Sugar Plum, and you have the Nutcracker. So this is probably gonna do decent damage. You probably will not be able to get the overkill on your legend bosses with 1 key, and I'm assuming that might be what you're looking for help with. But again, so like one of the things I have to think about is what are the other cards that you have in your collection so that you could take advantage of it. So you do have the Ultra Evor, and really, if you are able to survive long enough, then these cards are going to be more helpful than just using the current event deck. Unless you have the ultimate form and also the Master Collection card. It's just that the current Master Collection card doesn't generate as many Power Gem 4s as Drosselmeyer, and so there is also that the issue there. So you've got the Ultra Evor, and I think one of the things that you could consider doing is replacing either Sugar Plum or the Nutcracker to use Evor instead. The benefit of using the Sugar Plum and keeping it in there is that you can also reduce the damage taken so that you can survive longer. You do need to make sure that you put in a couple of creature relics if you are to use Evor. But I think that if you try that, then you might actually be able to deal a little bit more damage than this current team, because this current team right here, you're not getting a lot of power gems. You're getting at most 7, actually 4 plus 4, you're getting 6 plus 4, so you're getting almost 10 power gems with this setup, and you're not really going to be able to fill up the board. And so with this setup, try to replace that with the Evor and see that helps. All right, so now let's just take a look. I'm gonna scroll down and see what other comments I might have missed. Now I saw one from Bruce Marquis. So there's 2 decks you're using and you can't get 500 on Ultra Kill. So judge of all, let's take a look at your cards. So now we're looking at Ultra Kill, okay? And let's see. I'm probably going to switch gears and go back to my deck to take on an Ultra Kill boss myself, just so we can sort of see how this works out. But let's take a look at your 2 decks. And let's see. So we've got the Heaven's Light, we are in Legion. I'm going to take a look and take a guess as to what your Ultra Kill deck is. I'm assuming it might be this one with the event, right? And we are Legion, probably one of these 2. Okay, so if you're looking at the Ultra Kill for this particular event, I can tell you, looking at this team right here, that you're going to probably at most get 300% overkill, because that's what I get, and I'm using 2 Drosselmeyers. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you don't have the overkill, you're not going to be able to get the double damage, and that's really what's needed to get the 500 bonus. So if I take a look at your other cards, and this is the reason why I kind of wanted to try and see if I can get the Master Collection card, although I'm just really sort of, that's the only thing. Like, the only thing I can't do right now in this event is consistently get 500% overkill, but I just feel like, is it worth me, dusting all, or crafting and using up all my dust here. So I'm still sort of looking at that. So yeah, so I don't see other event cards here. So I guess this is really sort of, the choice you have. I'm not sure if adding another Ultra Evar is going to help because you're now losing damage. And so I think this is probably a team that you'll be able to get overkill damage on the Dark God. So if you get like, the Reaper of Soul, or is it I forget the name of the boss here, that you might have a chance. But just looking at this deck right here and looking at your cards, I think you need to have at least the event card both for the 10 times commander bonus or 13 times commander bonus, and also the kill bonus in order to get the 500% overkill. But, so that's sort of where I'm at. So I apologize, I don't think I can do much better than what you already have built up. And so I'm going to take switch out a little bit, and time for me to try my own or did I already take out? No. So I have my Ultra Kill, and like I said, this is the team I'm using right now, although I think so this is where I've been sort of experimenting. And so my thought process here, I actually originally had I actually had this team swapped out for a Nutcracker just for additional power gems. I'm not sure if that necessarily works out as well as I want it to, but we can give this a try. So it does give a bit more power gems. So let's see how we do in this particular setup. And so, with the Ultra Kill, this is basically where I do need to make sure that my creature intensity goes up to 350 at a minimum. And I just need my light skill my light skill points to be at 100. That's all I need. And so again, use the skill of my support card so that I can bring up make sure that I get enough light gems every turn so that I can get it up to 100. And if I can't get it, speed is going to be important here, so I have to so with that, see, this is why having 2 actually is a lot better. So you can see how I've already missed a couple of hits, and because I'm not doing matches, I'm actually not getting my intensity, my skill points high, but at least my intensity is going up. So that's one of the nice things about the older relics, is that the intensity actually is going up, and that is without matching, I'm still getting my intensity. And so I need to make sure that I do a little quicker here. So I'm at 100 now, so I'm not really going to be concerned about it too much. Now I need to go and actually just do some quick matches so I can get my intensity higher. It is, I don't have a lot of time right now. I spend a lot of time just looking at the gems there. So I have 6 seconds. I'm confident I should be able to get it. So, but let's go ahead and do this. And one of the things you notice what happened there too was I actually messed up because I lost I was looking at a particular slot, and then that got overridden by a light gem, and so because of that, I was doing some mismatches there. All right, so we're at 240. I need a couple more. So let's go ahead and activate this. 2 seconds and 30. We should be fine. I'm at 255. 139. Yeah. So again, that was another one that I lost because of the light there. So let's see here. What will be really a shame is to time out here. And so I think what I have to do is I have to go ahead and activate everything at this point. And so let's see how much damage you can deal. With this particular setup, I'm guessing hopefully I'm going to be able to get 300% overkill with this. And let's see how much damage we're able to deal. So yeah, so 70, 40. Yeah, I think this is okay. So I'm definitely not getting the 500, and this is a 300% overkill. So that's basically the most I can do right now until I can actually get a, get some killer bonus, which I'm not going to get. Let's see here. So any other comments here? Again, so for anybody who might have been joining earlier, what I've been doing this whole stream so far is I've been looking at different people's cards and decks and giving my personal recommendations, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to work out. And if I can, I might actually try to play one of the decks just to help out. But before I do that, one of the things I also want to call out too, if you have an issue dealing with weaken, because you don't have the event card, this Reforged Sentinel Stars actually will also dispel weaken. So it is a pretty good card to reforge if you're able to. And so I think that, if you're looking for a card to dispel weaken, that's what I did because I don't have the event card. So I do this in challenges. So in the challenge, I actually bring this team in so that I can dispel weaken, and then I can continue to fight. So that it's because, when you can only deal half the damage, it makes a challenge a little bit tougher as well. And let's see. So if I missed anyone else, I think that if I missed you, just tag me and let me know. I'm going back in the chat right now, so I think there is one Inga named D9. Okay, so I see here. Let me take a look quick right now, and let me know too. This is the first time I'm ever actually doing something like this, where I am, looking at your cards live, and I'm sort of taking a look at your cards. Let me know if this works for you, because I know in the past I've sort of given my take based on my cards and what I do with my team setup, and I know that it doesn't really apply to many people, and so hopefully this will actually help out a little bit. And so let's see. So Chandra Shakar, let me know what it is that you need help with. Is it just with your team you need to deal more damage? And if you're looking for, so I see you have Primal Guardian and Ultra Evor, and you've got the event card as well. So I'm assuming that the challenge right now is you don't have the Master Collection card, probably from Master Collection card from either of the events. Yeah, so right now what you've got is a decent team, and I would expect that given that you have Primal Guardian and the Ultra Evor, you might actually consider putting in 2 copies of Electric Executrix, because I think I saw that. I think I saw that you have 2 of them. Or is it just the one? Okay, so you have just the one. Then I think what you've got right now is good. But if you're able, I would actually say that if you have the gems and you're okay with it, you might try investing in another of the support card, just because I think that it will give you better health and better heal and sort of better versatility in getting your gem matches throughout. You do need to make sure that your skill point is at 300 in order to take advantage of Durus, because unless you get up to 300, you're not going to get very many power gems. And so that is my only recommendation there. I see. So let me see, just make sure I didn't miss anything else. Yeah. Okay, so Nicholas, sorry to be slightly off topic, don't worry. So where can I get information on Reforged Heroes? There's not really good information. There is a spreadsheet that MTM has sort of kept. If you join my my chat, there's actually that spreadsheet is is pinned as a post, so you can always take a look. I don't know if the Reforged Heroes for this event though. All right. I am way behind on the chats, so I'm just gonna take some time to take a look here. Let's see. Any other questions? So is there any questions for me outside of just looking at your decks? I can also try and answer some of that here. So let's see. I'm actually enjoying this event. I think I'm definitely enjoying Commander a lot more than Slayer at this point, especially if I have the cards I can use to at least deal pretty good damage. I just feel like, I was able to take some time off tonight and really enjoy myself with my family and come back and play and not feel like everything is, in a complete, disarray, like I'm completely behind. I just feel like it's a little better for me to be able to play my own pace. So Ryan Rev, I'm having a bit of issues with matching cards. If you have time to look at mine as well, please. If I chose properly, hero for the defense. So Consort or Ruby, I'm going to, I'll keep that in mind. I'll go in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this right now while I look at some other questions so that I don't miss the spot. Sorcha, Ruby. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer stream, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around with me. I know it's really late for some of you, and might be just the perfect time for others, depending on the time difference here. But again, I appreciate you spending time with me here. Let's see. And okay, so true. Glad that you're seeing a boost in your damage based on my suggestions. That's what I'm hoping hoping to hear. And let's see. So Joshua Davis. When or where can you get G3 relics materials? The past okay, so generally they have like a 10-week period before they reintroduce the materials for the Generation 3 relics, have it be available in the store. But it might take them a little longer this time. I think it's already been more than 10 weeks and we're not seeing those materials still. So I guess they're just behind. I haven't gotten any answers on that, but I will definitely check for you if I can. So hopefully soon. That's the best I can say, but I cannot promise anything. And so Guido, so thanks for posting a picture. I'll take a look later as well. Plexmeister, good morning from Denmark. So hello, welcome. And thanks to everybody who's joining me right now. What's the best way to deal with the special bosses? If you're talking about the ultimate bosses, I don't know. I think outside of using your ultimate form cards, you can't really expect to go far. I'm seeing people go up to quite a few levels, and obviously they have really good cards there. So you definitely do need to consider, and it's not very key efficient. That's the thing. It's just that I'm a little peeved that they're now using the ultimate bosses as a way to give, the runes for this Generation 2 relics, just because the rest of us won't be able to compete there. And that's really a shame. I hope it doesn't go beyond that, though. Like, it's one of those things where if it's going to really impact the game, then I hope they dial back on that. Thank you, Christia. I'm having fun here. I'm enjoying the time spent here with you guys as well. And I'm seeing people from New Zealand as well. And thank you for joining me. Thanks for taking the time to join me on the chat here. All right, now I'm going to go back and take a look at this cards. All right, so Consortia Ruby, let's see the cards that you've got and let's see what you're working with. So you've got Oglyph, I see that, and how else? Okay, so that's not bad actually. So that's very similar to what I see, and then you have the Master Collection card here as well. So I guess the question is whether or not you really need Oglyph. So Oglyph is good as a card to sort of, generate a little bit more power gems. So the maximum number of power gems you can generate with Oglyph would be 7. That is if you have 0 light cards, light gems on the board. But because you're guaranteed to always have 5 if you have 5 commanders, you're basically looking at creating 6. And so if you're creating 6 power gems using that, but you have better power gem spawners in your selection, then I might actually recommend you do that. And so I see that you've got the Innovator, Drosselmeyer, Killdrone, and then Steadfast Nutcracker. Those are going to be your gen spawners. And you've got Oglyph and Orsang. So this is actually a really good combo to do sort of, 1 second turn damage for the basic bosses. So I'm assuming you already have that. You already can do it. And so you've got 2 support cards, Sugar Plum and Oglyph. Okay. And now let's take a look at your cards here. So I guess here's the question, right? So instead of Oglyph, I wonder if you will be better off just using the Nutcracker as well. And I see that you have a pristine Targa here. I would highly recommend not going with it just because you're not gaining a lot of health benefit from this this Targa. It's older. And yes, I can see it's at level 47, so it does give you 1350, but you're gaining pretty good heals just by using your 2 support cards, so you can afford to use this, use a different relic. So what I would recommend, let's take a look at your gear here. Did you get this event relic yet? Because if you did. So if you didn't yet, I would say it's worth investing if you have the gems for it. And if not, then I think that, what is this, Corrupt? So I would assume that Corrupt is one of those older relics. Oh, that's here. I'm looking at here. I want to look at Corrupt. So you have a couple of relics for Corrupt, and you. So what I see here is you have. So I would replace the Targa. I would replace the Targa with a Corrupt relic just so that you can boost, your Master Collection card and your 2 supports. And you have a pretty good Exultant Saber here that also increases the attack by 1123, and so that might be okay. But you also have a another Corrupt relic that will probably give more. But I think keeping that as is and just replacing the target with your corrupt relic, or if you have the event relic, I would definitely get that. And that you should see your damage go up. And I guess, yeah, I suppose, it's a toss up for me. So the nice thing about using Oglyph is that you can get your power gems to sort of stay next to each other, but play around with it and see if using your Nutcracker helps, because I don't see any other gem spawners in your deck right now, or power gem spawners rather. And I see you have three copies of Duru. Is that right? I see 3 copies of Durus here. Oh no, that's my friend's. Huh? I was wondering what happened there. So anyways, I got out of your profile by accident. So I think that would be my recommendation. So give it a try. And let's see. So what else am I missing here? So Regent or Carmel. And I think I see an old guildmate of mine. I'm definitely going to take a look as well. And so, I'm it's been 45 minutes, and this is, you guys are still going strong. So thanks a lot for spending the time and, looking at this with me. So I see the first team that uses Oglyph. That was one of my go-to teams for a very long time. So I really like that. And I think what I'm seeing here is you're using the old Light Fable team. So that was also one of the teams I really invested in. And so let's see what other options you might have here. Those were the days when, I would actually have a full team of Apollo plus Eternal Chronos, and, just doing some really, fast matches to try and get 3 total attacks in for a combined like 21 billion or something like that. That was sort of back in the day. All right, so what I see here is support card from this event and support card from the previous event. Okay. And so definitely using Oglyph or using Apollo is the right idea there. I would say that if you're using Aladdin, then I'm assuming that's because you're having health issues. You might actually benefit with this team. You might actually consider putting in the Sugar Plum Fairy in instead, because this way you get at least 2 Generation 2 cards that will deal more damage. Like for sure, by putting in a second Generation 3 card, you're going to see way more damage output, especially since you have 3 Apollos there. In fact, if you have... sorry, I need to go back here. Because I think you might also be able to do a little bit more damage if you have another Gen 3 card in there. Let's just take a look just to make sure if I missed anything. Okay, so you have 2 Gen 3 cards, and that's what I would definitely recommend. I would recommend you use the second support card, which is the Fairy, instead of Aladdin, and use the heal and the damage reduction instead to actually get more damage there. I think you'll see a lot better. So Sleepless, we can take a look there as well. So is it 1-0? Sleepless. Some of the funny ways people spell their names, it makes it really hard. Okay, so I think I missed an E. Okay. 3. Okay, there you go. Unfortunately, I have to go to work. Okay, so I guess you'll just pay attention to you'll just take a look at the stream later. So again, we'll take a look at your cards. So you're using the Reforged Sentinel Stars for dispelling weakens. So that's good. Now, Assault Unit Yoju isn't a really great card to use. Yes, it does create 6 light gems, but it's a Slayer card. So one of the things that you have to consider too is if you have other options, I would definitely go with that. And so let's take a look and see what you've got here and what we can work with. So right off the bat here, I think unless you're working against the guild boss, Reforged Sentinel Stars isn't going to be as necessary. And so what I would definitely recommend is use your copies of yeah, so you've got Durus and you've got Electrocutrix and Innovator. So definitely you'll definitely want to keep Innovator, Drosselmeyer, 2 copies of the current support card, Electric Executrix. And now it's a toss-up. I would suggest you try and level up Durus if you can, to use Durus, and then probably you might actually. This is a tough one because you are lacking on the overall gems. And so let's take a look at the Slayers. So there's not a lot of really good gem spawners in the Generation 3, and I'm seeing your Generation 2 cards. So I guess you started a little bit later, so you don't have those cards, and that's okay. So I can see why you're using Assault Unit Yoju to get the six spawns there, but I think that you might gain a little bit more through using more of your Gen 3 cards, in which case using your Durus in your deck as well. Okay, let's see here, and we've got Hansi Norman. So your deck from left to right, Canis, Stellar Hound, and the Ultra Evor, 2 of those cards. So let me know how that works out for you. That looks like a pretty good setup as well. And any new oh my gosh, I'm so behind on chats. I'm sorry guys. Let's see. So thanks guys for joining me again. And I don't remember how many I've helped so far, but if actually if I've actually helped you out, if you're able to try it out and see the damage go up, that's great. I that's what I wanted to see here. And I accidentally so I've been called out here. So 23A or 2300. So let me know what your can you just let me know what your in-game name is? I accidentally skipped you right before Consortia. I apologize for that. As I mentioned, it just there's a lot of comments and I am missing it, so I do apologize. And if I don't get, again, like I'm not going to be able to get through to everybody's, but hopefully the idea here is you can see my thought process here. You can look for what I'm looking for first and sort of build it from there. One of the challenges I will share with you right now is that I haven't been able to really go off affinity for a while now, with the exception of some decks. It's just that it's more beneficial now to use the Generation 3 cards in order to deal true damage, and that's really sort of the options I have. And so for people who don't have many cards, which I'm seeing right there, then the options you have are, I would say, focus on power gem creation ability. So if you don't have cards that can create more than a fixed number of power gems, then look for ways to supplement them with regular gem creation. So it's all about the total number of gems on the board, and also as many power gems as you can. And if you can't do that, then take advantage of your relics. So use the relics to try to passively spawn power gems, and then use your gems to then fill it out so you can deal a little bit more damage as well. So again, 2300, if you could just let me know your in-game name, I could try and search for it, although there's a lot of comments to scroll through, so I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Oh, I found it now. Okay, so is that Aria's Army? So I guess that's the name there. So let's take a look. So I do apologize if I skipped it. And again, you can also reach out to me on the network app, or join my chat and let me know if we can help out there as well. So I'm not sure if you're still on the stream right now. It is an hour into the stream. So again, thanks a lot for sticking around. This is a pretty long stream, but I think it's very helpful for me as well, because this is the first time I'm doing this. And so let me know if there's any feedback afterwards on what you like to see differently. Is this something that's useful for you? Comment in my also put down the comments in my video once it's out. I would love to sort of see your thoughts. Share your thoughts with me through the comments in the video, so that others can also see what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and we can I can learn a little bit more from there as well. All right, so let's take a look and see if you have any commander cards here. So I do see. I didn't see it in your team though, so I was curious if it's because it's not working for you. And so you have two of the current event cards, and you have beaming. So beaming's not too bad to use either, because this card will actually give you a increased drop rate of your light gems. You just need to make sure you have ancient relic. And so let's take a look to see if you have any ancient relics here. It is one of those relics that hasn't been introduced in been used in a while. So you have 5 relics though. So these relics all create intensity. So you can use a few of them. I wouldn't recommend using all 5, for example, but definitely use a couple so you can increase the intensity there. And in ancient also, boost the light commander hero from the previous event. So your Sugar Plum Fairy will also get some bonus there. And so you have Sniping Watchhawk, and that could be used. You have Orsang as a Power Gem spawner, so that's also a good choice. So some of the options you have here, and let's just take a look at the Slayer just to make sure I don't miss anything. And so from the Slayer's perspective, what I see, yeah, you have 2 Orsangs, and that's definitely what I would recommend. And I see where you're going with using Daniil to try and create the, using the Amy team. And the problem here is because you're lacking the bonus from your commander gems, you're not going to deal as much damage as you would like. And so give that a try. But I would say, one thing you could try and do is put in a couple of Orsangs in there as well, and use your Electric Executrix as your leader once you get it to 6 stars. And then let's take a look again. So this is what I would recommend. Put Electric Executrix as your leader. Until it's 6 star, you can use Sugar Plum. And then put her in and put Durus. And then I would say at least 1 or 2 Orsangs. Probably 1 Orsang for now. And Sniping Watchhawk is good because you get 6 gems as well. So with this particular setup, you need to think about sort of mixing around the number of power gems you can create versus the number of regular gems that you can build. Find a match there. Beaming is probably going to be my last sort of card that I would recommend based on the collection that you have, just because you get less damage boost just from the gem fall, and you don't really need it. You need more of a gem destroy if possible, or more gems created, and in which case Brutus Mark is not that bad either in terms of the gem creation, because you can create 3 to 5. At 6 stars it'll create 4 to 6, but it's a little bit older card, so you're not going to get a lot of benefits there. So definitely make sure to keep your Gen 3 cards in there, and then your Gen spawners as well. So hopefully that helps. And let's see the chat here. And I think I'm probably going to be able to help out one more. So I'm going to take a look at one more card, one more person's deck, and then we will probably then call it good. So I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody who has been waiting for a while. And so I'm going to take a look at the chat from a little bit earlier. Adam Ortega, I wish they would make the past ultimate. They would have more killer skill towards the commander bosses, not the event ultimate having all the benefit. Yeah, so what I can tell you is what I know. So what I know is that they're looking to fix the system. So the old system of being able to craft a past ultimate or past ultra rare is flawed in that as soon as we get past this event, the next time around, you will only have 33% chance of getting the card that you actually want. And it's so tied to the current event, and it's just so random that there's no way to make everyone happy. And so I know that they're trying to fix it, but they don't want to just come out with something that's half-baked and make it even worse. And so they've chosen to just kind of take that away for now. So that's the decision they've made, and I hope that they'll come back with a fixed system pretty soon. All right, and so Rob Frog, off topic, but best Warden skill to ascend, it depends on your color, it depends on what you have, but some of the typical ones are counterattack, gem silence, alacrity, fear. Those are all good. Don't ascend power gem silence. That doesn't do anything. Okay. All right, and let's see. And is there another question? So if you're really, really new, so here's the thing: if you're really, really new to the game and you're just kind of building out, I would recommend focusing on your not events, but focus on your leveling. So focus on going through the campaign and, get gems, save up your gems as much as possible. Don't spend, your gems on every event that comes out, especially if the cards aren't as useful. Some decks just don't work as well together. Like this deck isn't as well put together in terms of its whole cohesiveness. But I would say that there are going to be decks that'll come out that'll be really, really good, and definitely pay attention to that when it does come out. So I'm going to try and provide some of that feedback as well to what decks are worth investing in. All right, so let's take a look here. Nathan Book, okay, so let's take a look here. So I think Drax is the name. So let's take a look. So this will be the last one of the stream here, and then I'm going to take a look here and see what we can do for you. Okay. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm looking at the right team here. Level 12 looks like it's a really, really old player, so I'm not going to look at that one. And let's see. Frank Manfeld, hello from Germany. Thank you. Welcome to the chat, to the stream, and thank you for joining us. And let's see. So thank you. I'm glad that this is helping, and I'm getting some love from Germany. So hello to everybody. Thank you for joining. And okay, so let's take a look. Nanook Frost. Given that I wasn't able to help the previous one, let's take a look here. All right, so let's see what we got here. So we got 3 Sugar Plum Fairy with an Ascendant. So you got Astral Judicator, and if I remember correctly, this card will spawn Power Gems. So yeah, so this is a good card to use. So that looks good. And then you have the Gemfall as well. So Gemfall works better, I think, in a Slayer event. And so let's take a look here. So I see you've switched to Waste No Money. Yeah, so this is 2 support cards with the Sugar Plum Fairy, Durus, and Astral Judicator. That looks good. That looks really good, actually. Let's just take a look and see what else you have at your disposal, so that I see if we can maybe improve on it if possible. Although based on what you've already built there, I think that is actually a really good setup. And so I guess the question is, intensity that you need is giant. So you need giant intensity, and do you have giant deck? So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you have giant intensity. So you need relics there, and because you need 100 giant intensity, I'm seeing not a whole lot there. So let's take a look and see if that's an issue, because you might not have the relic. So it looks like that might be the case. Oh no, so you have 2 relics here for giant. You need to put them in there. So if you're going to use Astral Judicator, you have to put in the giant relics in there. And what you're looking for is you're looking to generate the power gems using that card. And so it is going to take you 5 turns in order to increase the total number of power gems. So basically every 100 intensity, you're going to get an additional, or 2 more. So you're going to spawn basically 2 additional power gems every 100. So if you think about it, you want to go at least 20 turns so that you can get about that 20 turns. That's 4, so that's basically at least 10 power gem 3s. I know it doesn't seem efficient, but if you're using Astral Judicator, then I would highly recommend that you put the relics in there, and you might even consider putting in a support card that also helps with the intensity generation. So let's see. So this is a situation here where you might actually consider using Libra. I think Libra is the one that will generate intensity. Yeah, so you might actually consider putting in Libra in place of Canis. So you have Astral Judicator, and then you have Libra, and then your 3 current event heroes. That might actually give you a little bit more breathing room in terms of getting more power gems spawn after you do the gem destroy, and you might be able to deal more damage that way. But you need to be really fast, and you need to do 3 key hits for that in order to get to the point where you could deal enough damage. So Frank Manfell, hopefully that helps you out. And so that was actually a really good, I think that was actually a really good deck to showcase that you don't need to have a full deck of just event cards, but you need to sort of consider what is the makeup here. So in this case, I'm saying that you can choose to use 3 cards as your main damage dealer instead of 4, and then use 2 cards to do the support. And in this situation where you don't have enough intensity generation, use a support card to help out there, plus your relics, so that you can get there faster. It's all about getting to the high enough intensity as fast as possible. Okay, and so let's see. And I did say that I was going to have just one last one, but I feel bad if I'm seeing a comment where there's somebody that can't, that has no idea what to do at all. And so I'm going to, this is the last one, okay? So Lady Paisley Tulhurst. And let me know, like, are these basically the names that the game gave you? Oh, and while I'm here, just to see if anybody knows the game name that I used to have before I changed to T-Bone, bonus points for you. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. And okay, so I guess you're having an issue setting up a team. I'm not seeing the deck set up here, so let's take a look and see what you've got. Okay, so you've got electric executrix plus 2 sugar plum fairies, and you've got also the team from the mage deck. Okay, so yeah, so I see support cards there, and I'm just gonna take a look at your Slayer cards as well. So you got May. So a lot of people actually was asking May. So May is actually not a great card to use if you're using an commander event, because the only way you can actually generate her power gem 4s is by using up 25 skill points, and those are Slayer skill points. So you need to have a card that can generate Slayer Slayer skill points in order to use her. So if you don't use any other Slayer cards in the deck, she's not going to be helpful at all. So don't actually use that. So I see that you have Daniil, so that might be an option, or Orsang. Okay, so Orsang is not a bad card to use because it is also a okay, so this is what you might consider doing. So given the fact that you're sort of lacking on the where am I? Did I exit out of my own? I did, didn't I? No, I didn't. So Lady Paisley, this is what I would try. Put in a few of the Orsang cards, and you should know how Orsang works as well. So I'm going to explain to you right now how Orsang works. So I don't see Oglyph on the team, but Orsang will actually generate 2 power gems when you activate him, and then if you on the 3rd attack, or actually if there's at least 1 light power gem 2, it will create another one, and then every 3rd hit it will create a light power gem 2 as well. So basically what you want to do is you want to do 3 quick gem matches, and then let the Orsangs passively spawn power gem, and then activate the skills. Then what you can do is I guess probably put 2 of them, and then put all 3 of your support cards in there, and then activate them all so you can get more gems on the board. You might be able to deal a little bit better damage than what you're seeing right now. So give that a try and let me know what you think. And so let's see. Any other questions? So I'm probably going to call it in about 5 minutes or so. I'm just going to answer questions at this point so I can keep up with some of the comments as well. So question from Adam Ortego: why does the past ultimate killer skill not apply to most commander bosses this event? So the past ultimate killer skill applies to the god cards. I've seen it in the overkill boss as well as the ultra kill boss, but of course it's going to be a little bit less. So it does apply. It's just not for all of them because they want to basically you to utilize the current event deck for the current hero. That would be the reason why. And let's see. So Chris, pork chop. No, that was a good guess, but my previous in-game name was not pork chop. So if you can't, if I don't get an answer here, we'll try it next time. So that's the trivia question for now. And let's see. So I wouldn't give a name instead of the moniker. Yeah. So that's what I did. I just kind of went with the game name as well for a while. And let's see. And okay. So Con William Deep, you are super close. Super close. I actually have a second account that I created. I called it Steak. So I had a baby account where I did the free to play, and I call it Steak. Just to play around. And I'll give it. And so Colin William D probably has been around long enough to know my name, but it's the last. So your last word is incorrect there. So. Bone and ribeye. Oh, you guys are making me hungry. It's getting late here, so all this talk of steak and stuff, but it's not steak. I did play around with the name a lot there. So, anyways, thanks a lot for joining me here. I think that this has been super helpful for me as well. Hopefully, it has been helpful for you. And feel free to take a look at my collection. I have like different ideas that I've sort of put in there as well. And join the chat. Let me know what you think. And again, for anybody who just recently joined, one of the asks I have is if you could comment down in the video below once the video is available. Let me know what you think. Let me know how it's whether it's helpful or what you like to see differently. I do pay attention to. I do look at all the comments. I may not be able to answer all of them all the time, but the comments has been really helpful for me to just kind of figure out what I can do more to help you guys out, because that's sort of been my goal here. And so I just saw your message. It sounded like leotard desk. No, it's actually a monk. I don't know how to say the middle word, but the last one is tresk with a T instead of a D. So I will actually type it out so that you can see the name here. And I think that will probably be... So that's the name that I had. So this is going to be the end of the stream here. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I can't believe you stuck around with me for an entire hour here. I know people are probably not going to watch the full hour, but it means a lot to me that you guys have stuck around here. And so thank you, guys. It's been really awesome. See you in my chat. Looking forward to reading your looking forward to reading the comments below as well. And we'll see you not the next week, since I'm going to be on vacation, but when I come back, we'll resume and we will do this again. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care.